Welcome to NHK's Radio English Conversation Program. I'm Marcia Krakauer.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff Clark. We're here to enjoy learning English together. Mostly Mozart.
Carrie, Lee, and Jason are looking over a brochure for an upcoming concert series.
What's this?
The brochure for the Mostly Mozart Festival at Lincoln Center.
Why are you giving it to me?
This year, you're in charge of picking the concerts.
You're putting our cultural calendar in the hands of my baby brother?
I'm no baby, sister.
Mom, I look forward to this all year. Why should Jason take over?
Calm down. You can put your 2 cents in, but Jason gets first crack.
If the festival lasts for 4 weeks, that's 4 concerts, right?
Yes, and this year I think we should go for the opening night gala.
Mom, who's doing the picking here?
Okay, I'll back off.
This year, I think we should go to the opening night gala.
You rebel.
I'm not crazy about the choices in week 2. Can we skip it?
It's your call, Jason.
Oh, look! The violinist Itzhak Perlman's performing. Let's do that concert.
But that's an all Vivaldi program.
Jason, it's a mostly Mozart festival, not totally Mozart.
Fine. Then we'll do that. And the Requiem concert.
Now, let's figure out where we should sit.
I vote for the orchestra section. Remember those obstructed views last year?
Oh, yeah. Let's not take any chances this year.
I'm ordering 3 tickets for each concert, right?
What if one of us wants to bring a date?
Mom! You? Bring a date?
Or Lee, or even you, Jason.
Let's get back to you, Mom. What's all this about a date?
I'm just saying it's a possibility. Is that so bizarre?
Mom? On a date?
With you and me as chaperones.
This year, it sounds more like Mostly Us and a Mystery Man festival.
A SoHo opening.
Judy tries to persuade Miguel to accompany her to a gallery opening.
Do you know that small art gallery on Prince Street?
In SoHo? I've never been inside, but I know which one you mean.
Well, a friend of mine's a curator there.
Really?
Yes, and she's having an opening tonight that's right up your alley.
Jug wine and bad cocktail banter? No thanks. There's nothing I hate more than art openings.
The work is so powerful you'll overlook that. Trust me.
I'm intrigued. Okay, count me in.
I hate to go to art openings alone.
I'd still like to know what we'll be seeing.
Okay. It's an exhibit of collages.
Collages? How is that right up my alley?
The collages are made from the contents of famous journalists' wastepaper baskets.
You're taking me to see garbage?
Not garbage, art.
Well, I'll judge that when I see it.
That evening, Maggie, the curator, greets Judy with air kisses.
Oh, Judy, I'm so glad you could come.
And I brought someone who could really appreciate the work, a journalist.
Make that a student of journalism. Hi, I'm Miguel.
And this is Stan, the artist responsible for this inspired show.
So, what do you think of my statement?
Interesting.
I was hoping you'd say profound. I'm making art out of the trash of those who trash others.
Is that really how you see journalists?
These days, there's more gossip in the papers than news.
The front page is a reflection of society, not the creation of journalists.
No matter. It's all fodder for art.
Well, I wish you success, Stan. I'm sorry I asked you to come.
There's nothing to be sorry about. Oh, look, here's Maggie again. Let's just say goodbye.
I hope you two aren't leaving. Stan adores you.
Which means...
You're invited to preview his next project.
Rehashing the Eames Retrospective.
Miguel, Judy, and Lee are discussing art in their favorite local hangout.
Miguel, I'm so glad you talked us into going to that exhibition at the Cooper Hewitt Museum.
Me too. I had no idea that Charles and Ray Eames made such an impact on modern culture.
Neither did I. Quite frankly, I assumed the entire retrospective would be only about furniture.
Naturally. Who hasn't sat in an Eames chair?
As it turns out, furniture was just one way they expressed themselves.
They were real visionaries, weren't they?
The Eameses had such a range of interests.
Design, architecture, art,
Technology, science, filmmaking.
But their real genius was in the way they combined it all.
It's incredible. Way before computers, they envisioned a more interactive, non-linear world.
They came up with the notion of multimedia in the 1950s. It must have been radical back then.
Yeah, that blows me away.
The biggest surprise of the exhibit was finding out that Ray Eames was a woman.
More precisely, Charles's wife.
I guess I should have known that. But who'd name a girl Ray?
I used to think that Charles and Ray Eames were brothers.
When you think about it, that is an easy assumption to make.
I read that she actually had a better aesthetic sense than he did.
It would be hard to compare them. Their strength was in their partnership.
You know, I love any exhibit that's at the Cooper Hewitt.
You can't beat it. An entire building dedicated to design.
And on Museum Mile, no less. That whole stretch of Fifth Avenue is awesome.
There's like what? A museum on every block?
Yeah, but who can see more than one exhibit at a time?
Not me. I prefer to focus on one thing at a time.
You guys are such linear thinkers. Hasn't this Eames retrospective taught you anything?
Opera in the park.
Bill and his girlfriend Roxanne join some friends in Central Park to hear the Metropolitan Opera Company perform.
I'm sure you all realize that what we're doing is illegal.
What? Listening to Aida in the park?
No.
Having a picnic on the Great Lawn?
You're getting closer. We're not allowed to drink wine in public.
Ah, but it's a fine Cabernet.
Vintage or not, it's against the law.
But we've been doing this every summer for years.
This certainly puts a damper on our picnic.
Ignorance is bliss. You shouldn't have said anything.
What now? Do we dump our wine?
Heavens, no. There aren't enough jails in New York to hold all the wine connoisseurs here tonight.
Yeah, I doubt the cops will be ticketing anyone at a cultural event.
You're right. Relax. Let's just sit back and enjoy the music.
And another glass of wine.
Quiet, everyone. My favorite aria is about to come up.
Nearby, a boisterous group gets disruptive.
How can we enjoy the music with that rowdy bunch over there?
Yeah, the acoustics are bad enough without them drowning out the performance.
Excuse me, but could you keep it down?
Forget it, Roxanne. You'll never get their attention.
They're oblivious to what's going on stage.
What a shame. This soprano has such an impressive voice.
It's no competition for our noisy neighbors.
Shh! Pipe down, you guys. The singers will go hoarse just trying to be heard.
I bet those people have had too much to drink.
This sort of thing doesn't happen in Tanglewood.
You mean where the Boston Symphony performs every summer?
I've seen plenty of tipsy people at Tanglewood.
Maybe it's not such a good idea to mix music and wine.
Maybe not. So, what are we going to do about our noisy neighbors?
Call the cops.
Do you want us all in handcuffs?
Here's what I really want. A front row seat at the Metropolitan Opera House.
The media has become a big part of our cultural life, especially TV.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not putting down everything we watch on TV, but it can never take the place of going to the museum or watching a play on stage.
You know, I'd go further, Marcia. TV can be informative, but information is not culture. Culture may be entertaining, but entertainment is not culture.
Well, what's your definition of culture?
Well, think of a language, English or Japanese or Chinese, and it's an aspect of culture, something that's been enriched and cultivated over centuries. That process of creation and cultivation, that's what culture really is.
And yet, you often hear the complaint that young people can't use their own language properly.
In many countries, tests show that vocabulary is decreasing. Among American kids, for example, everything is cool, but they can't express in other words what that coolness is, what it is that they like about something.
Well, kids may be more talkative, but they're less articulate.
Yes.
And that may have something to do with the lack of vocabulary and serious discussion in the TV shows people watch or the books they read these days.
That is, if they read. The problem with packaged entertainment is it's so passive. You sit back and watch or listen to what's given to you, and you stop thinking and observing for yourself. Also, you stop talking with other people, having real discussions with your family or friends. So the most important education, that is, education outside the classroom, stops.
When television service was temporarily cut off in parts of Russia, people were amazed that they got to know their family members again. We can see here in Japan, too, young people who are turning off the tube and going out and creating their own fun.
Yeah, interest in the theater and live music seems to be up, and that's a positive trend. It's not that TV is bad, but just that it shouldn't become a substitute for real life. And speaking of life, let's move from cultural life to the sporting life.